My parents handed my sister millions at Grandpa's will. Then his lawyer changed everything. At Grandpa Frank's will reading, my parents gave my sister Rachel $10 million and told me to go earn my own. Then his lawyer opened a second folder and read the secret Grandpa had saved just for me. Rachel had always been the golden child. Ivy League degree, office job, surgeon fiancé. I was the family disappointment because I became a mechanic. At every holiday dinner, Mom would ask when I was getting a real job. Dad never stopped her. He just sat there and let Rachel smirk at me. Grandpa was the only one who never treated me like I was less. While everyone else went to Rachel's parties, he came to my shop and watched me work. Honest work, he'd say, while I had an engine spread across the bench. So when he died, I figured I'd get nothing. The will reading was at a law office downtown. I came from work in my shop shirt and boots. There was still grease under my nails. Rachel walked in a minute later in a cream suit and heels, looked me up and down and whispered, "I have a blazer in my car if you don't want to look like a grease monkey." I ignored her and sat down. Mr. Peterson, Grandpa's lawyer, started reading. "To my daughter Barbara and son-in-law James, I leave my classic car collection." Then came Rachel. "To my granddaughter Rachel, I leave $10 million and my Connecticut properties." Rachel gasped and grabbed Mom's hand. Dad looked at me and said, "Your grandfather believed in character, son." Mom jumped in right after him. "Rachel's proven she can handle wealth. You're still figuring life out." I pushed my chair back. I didn't want to sit there and listen to them do this again. Not today. I was halfway up when Mr. Peterson said, "Tyler Morrison, please remain seated." He reached under the first folder and pulled out a second packet sealed with red wax. Mom frowned. "What is that?" "A codicil your father filed separately 8 months ago," Mr. Peterson said. Rachel's face changed for 1 second, but I saw it. He broke the seal and read, "To my grandson Tyler, who never asked me for a handout, who built something with his own hands while others built theirs with stolen money, I leave Morrison Industrial Holdings. Current value, $47 million. Nobody moved. Mom leaned forward. "What company?" Mr. Peterson turned the page. "The parent company of James Morrison Capital. It has owned your husband's firm for 30 years. Dad looked like the floor had dropped under him. Before anyone could speak, Mr. Peterson kept reading. "This transfer is immediate. As of today, Tyler Morrison is the sole owner of Morrison Industrial Holdings and all companies under it." Rachel made this small, choking sound. Mom snapped, "This has to be a mistake." Mr. Peterson said there wasn't. Then he opened the last section and laid bank records across the table. Grandpa had hired a forensic accountant 8 months earlier. Rachel had been stealing from Dad's firm for 4 years. The total was $3.2 million. Rachel went white. Dad shot out of his chair. "No, my daughter would never do that." Mr. Peterson stayed calm. "The transfers were made with Rachel's login, from Rachel's device, into accounts tied to Rachel." Rachel turned to me, voice shaking now. "Tyler, tell them this is crazy. You're my brother." I looked at her and remembered being 16, standing in Grandpa's kitchen while Rachel told everyone I stole cash from his wallet. Mom searched my room. Dad wouldn't look at me. Grandpa was the only one who knew I didn't do it. "Crazy like that day you said I stole from Grandpa?" I asked. Rachel's mouth opened, then closed. Mom stared at her. Mr. Peterson added one more thing. "Your grandfather also wanted it noted that he believed the money was used to support Rachel's pill problem." Dad sat down. Rachel whispered, "He had no right." Mr. Peterson slid one final paper toward me. "Effective immediately. Rachel Morrison is terminated for cause. Tyler, as owner, your signature confirms it." Rachel stood so fast her chair slammed back. "You planned this," she said. "You and Grandpa set me up." "No," I said. "You set yourself up. You stole from clients. You lied to Dad. Grandpa just made sure the truth landed with me." For once, nobody rushed to save her. My hand stayed steady when I signed. The second I put the pen down, there was a knock at the door. 2 security officers stepped in, and behind them were federal agents waiting to speak with Rachel. Mom started shouting about family and betrayal. Rachel looked at Dad like he could still stop it, but he couldn't even stand. One of the agents told her it was time to go. She turned to me, eyes wide. "This should have been mine," she said. I picked up the folder and the old photo Mr. Peterson had placed beside it. It was Grandpa and me at my shop on opening day. On the back he'd written, "The boy who fixes broken things knows what to do with this family." I looked at Rachel and said, "You were handed everything and still wanted more." Then I walked out while the agents took her the other way. Now my family is saying I was cold for walking out. Was I wrong?